Okay, I hope you have finished fluoridation concept.
No,
I will
ma'am.
give you 1 more minute. Okay, okay, then little fast, please. Once you're done, you please let me know. What message received? Done. Okay. Thank you. So we'll proceed now. Where I am? Reverse osmosis. Okay. Now, what is the concept of defluoridation? Okay. Fluoridation, addition of fluoride. Defluoridation, removal of fluoride. Okay. So simple concept. It is the addition of fluoride is the fluoridation, and removal of fluoride is the defluoridation. Okay. Now let me know. So how to remove the fluoride? That is also important. The method of defluoridation are precipitation or coagulation, adsorption, ion exchange, reverse osmosis, electrolysis. Of these, precipitation, coagulation, and adsorption are convenient method and are used widely, especially in developing rural countries, rural areas. Okay, simply you can remove the fluoride content from water by using these various methods. What are these various methods? adsorption, ion exchange, reverse osmosis, or electrolysis. You can use any of the method to reduce the fluoride content of water. But out of that, precipitation coagulation and adsorption is a simple and convenient method. Precipitation coagulation, simply addition of chemicals and the dissolved impurities convert into undissolved form. And once it is converted into undissolved form, then you can make them to sediment at the bottom. Okay, precipitation coagulation. And adsorption, so activated charcoal, or that day we saw one of the technology that is zeolite method. Okay, so in that way you can add the fluoride content on the surface of that activated charcoal, and we can reduce the quantity of fluoride in the water. That is nothing but the defluoridation, simply because excess amount of fluoride is going to cause the bone deformation, or it may cause the dental fluorosis. To avoid that ill effect, we need to reduce the fluoride content of the water. Okay, so this is about the defluoridation, and here we have finished the third chapter, and we are going to start the new chapter. So I request you at the earliest possible to copy this slide, and then we can move to the next slide. Okay, थोड़ा सा faster संपवा ही slide. Okay, please. Once you're done, let me know. If you have any question, you can ask me. We'll solve that question first, and then we'll move forward. Okay, I have received that is finished. No issue. Okay, just give me 1 second. Is there any problem in this chapter, in section 1, entire section 1? If you have, you can ask me, please. Okay, so we'll continue. So I think you don't have question. So I will close this slide, and I will share the detailed material. I have already shared the detailed material on the link provided to you, and that link is available in your description box of your this WhatsApp group. You can access this. So we will go for the next point, next chapter we will start, and that chapter is nothing but the chapter unit number 4. So I'm going to display you the first chapter. Sorry. Okay, I will show you here the syllabus only. Only this much is the syllabus for this chapter. You can see. Okay, unit number 4, section 2, title of the unit, I request everybody to note down, conveyance of water. What is meant by the conveyance of water? Okay, conveyance means transfer or transmit or transport from one place to another place. Here, in respect of, means आपण म्हणतो की या गावावरून त्या गावाला जाणं. So that kind of, in respect of water, when we are transporting from one place to another place, we used to use the terminology conveyance of water. Okay, so transmission of water from one place to another place. So we are going to study about the transmission of water. When transmission of water, what kind of accessories are required to have the smooth functioning of transmission of water? And then once it is not and as well as along with these accessories, we are going to study some design factors, what cares we need to take while transmitting the water from one place to another place. So what is the syllabus? I will read the syllabus. Transmission of water, pumping and gravity means, choice of pipe materials, stresses in pipes, economic size of conveying main, distribution reservoir, service storage, necessity, location, and design, that is head and capacity requirements. Okay, so this is the syllabus included in the chapter number 4. Okay, so we are going to start that chapter. I hope you understood what syllabus is included in this, and I will share the another slide through which you can understand what is the okay. Conveyance of water. What is meant by conveyance of water? I hope everybody has noted down. That is, we are going to study the section 2, chapter number 4. Title of the chapter is the conveyance of water. What is mean by conveyance? Transmission of water from one place to another place. But until now, whatever we have studied about the water treatment plant, in that, I hope you understood there are two types of transportation of water. Transportation of water is divided into two stages. What are these two stages? First stage, the water is being collected from the source to treatment plant, and from treatment plant to consumer point. These are the two stages included in a water transmission, water treatment, water supply. Okay, so water supply includes collection of water, treatment of water, then distribution of water. Okay, these three stages are there. So in that entire system, two times we are transmitting the water. First, from source to treatment plant, and second, from treatment plant to distribution network, individual consumers. Okay, so these are the two conveyance we are going to study here. So here, that is what written. There are two stages in the transportation of water: conveyance of water from source to the treatment plant, and second one is the conveyance of treated water from treatment plant to the distribution system. Okay, whatever distribution system we have provided. Okay, then conveyance of water is being performed in a two stages. So usually in the first stage, the conveyance of water is means at both the stages. In the first stage, there will be the combined method will be used to collect the water, to transmit the water. Okay, combined method in the sense what? Water will be collected either by gravity or by pumping. It depends upon the source location. Okay, so usually sources are available at the low-lying area, and we need to have the treatment plant at the high-lying area. So accordingly, many of the times we need to collect the water by the pumping instead of gravity. And in a second case, multiple times, many of the times we are providing water by the gravity. Are you getting? So there are the two stages of transmission. In a first stage of transmission, we can collect the water from source to treatment work, and from treatment work to distribution network or the consumer points, it will be transmitted by the gravity, or in the second stage also. So I will try to make you understand with the help of some anode. So you can suppose here is the treatment plant, okay, and here is the storage or the source, and again here is the area to which you want to supply the water, or the public or the consumers are placed over here. So from this point, usually the source of water is at the low-lying area, and that's why I'm trying to show you with the elevations. So from here to here, maximum time we used to collect the water by the pumping. Maximum time we used to collect the water by pumping. But from distribution treatment plant to distribution in work, or for the consumers, water multiple times water will be provided by the gravity. But sometimes what happens, whatever is this provided area for the treatment plant may not be at the sufficient height from the ground, sea level. At that time, what happens? We used to collect the treated water and pump into the ESR. We used to collect and pump it into the ESR. ESR is the elevated storage reservoir. And from ESR to the public, it will be provided by the gravity. Means here we are using pumping as well as gravity, two methods together. That is called as the combined method. And here maximum time we go for the collection of water by the pumping. जर इथं वॉटर सोर्स तुमचा ग्राउंड वॉटर असेल तरी तुम्हाला पंपिंग करावे लागते, किंवा सरफेस वॉटर सोर्स असेल तर तो डेफिनेटली लो लाईंग एरियालाच असतो, बरोबर आहे. सरफेस वॉटर सोर्स नदी तळ कधी टेकडावर पाहिले का तुम्ही? टेकडावरून खाली वाहताना पाहिले, बरोबर आहे. बट it doesn't have storage at the higher elevation, is it? So that's why we need to collect the water from source to treatment plant by the pumping. And for the supply, either we can provide by the gravity, or sometimes if there is no sufficient elevation at the selected location, then you can collect it into the ESR, and then you can supply it to the public by the gravity. Okay, these are the two stages over here. Now, okay, so this is called the conveyance of water. So by the gravity, by open channel or by closed conduit, we can allow to flow the water. Simple, by the gravity. But if it is the pumping, in that case, we need to study in detail. Okay, so here we are going to study what is the pumping. Okay, so a very short part is included for you about the pumping, because basically the detailed understanding of pumping and pumps are there in a mechanical engineering. But still, civil engineers should have some knowledge of pumping because they have to use the equipments. So what is this pumping? A pump is a device which converts mechanical energy into hydraulic energy. It lifts water from a lower to higher level and delivers it a higher pressure. Whenever we require to have the pressure, at that time we prefer to go for the pumps. Okay, so pumps are employed in water supply projects at various stages for following purposes. So what are the different purposes? We are going for the pumping. So the first purpose is to lift the raw water from wells, because it is in a underground. So from that we need to lift by using the pressure or pumps to deliver treated water to the consumer at desired pressure. Okay, So if there is sometimes there is a the consumer's area is also at the low lying area. At that time we need to apply some consumer's area is also at the same elevation or more than that. In that case, what we need to go for, we need to supply the water to that particular consumers by the pressure, and hence we need to have the pumps. Then to supply pressured water for fire hydrants. So in the first chapter we have studied there is a requirement of water for the fire control. And if suddenly there is a fire broken, then in that case you should not wait. Let the water come by the gravity and let the water close the fire. It will not happen. In that case, we need to apply the pump and pressure. To boost up pressure in water means to fill elevated overhead water tanks. As now, just now I shown to you. Sometimes for the supply purpose, there may be the possibility to have the less, not proper elevation at the treatment work site. So to get the proper elevation and to get the optimal pressure at the consumer points, we need to raise the height by constructing the ESR. And then from ESR, it will go by gravity. But from treatment plant to ESR, though it is there itself, we need to pump it. Then to backwash filters, also we are applying the pumps. Then to pump the chemical solutions needed for water treatment. These are the various requirements where we go for the use of pumps. So only that part I request you to write down. Okay. So these pumps are employed in water supply projects at various stages for following purposes, and these purposes you can note down, please.
आपल्या बाजूस पण आपली प्रगती करते.
This slide, next slide. Just wait me for a few seconds. Okay. Okay, so pumping we have discussed, and now we will see what type of different pumpings we can use to for the transmission of water. Okay, so there are the different types of pumps are available, and these are nothing but the displacement pump. In that, again there are two types of pumps: reciprocating pump and rotary pump. Then the third one is the centrifugal pump. Then the fourth one is the airlift pump, and then the jet pump. So these are the different types of pumps available with with the help of that we can go for the pumping of water from one place to another place. So the first one is the displacement of pumps, and in that reciprocating and rotary pump is available. Okay, then in a second is the centrifugal pump, and then airlift pump and jet pump. So we will see one to one. So first of all, we will see the reciprocating pump, how the reciprocating pump works. Okay, so there are two two-way function is possible in a reciprocating pump. So the first is the single acting pump and another is the double acting pump. In a single acting pump, what happens? There are two. So here you can see here in a single acting pump, first is this is the inlet, okay, or some pipe we can say, to this pipe we can say some pipe through which water will be collected from the source, okay, and this is the push forward pump through which water can be forwarded to the target where you want to forward it. So here is the piston provided and the pulley is provided. When it is going back, so the pistons movement are forward and backward direction. Okay. So when it is pushed back, at that time what happens? This some well, okay, some well pipe will be some well wall will get open and water will be allowed to enter through this way into this chamber, and it will be filled into this portion up to this as it is going back up to this portion. Okay. So, and the next round, it will come back. It will be pushed forwarded. That piston will be pushed forwarded. At that time, automatically, with the pressure of water, this wall will go down and it will be closed. Both these walls are the one-way walls. Both the walls are one-way walls. So here you can see the design. So when it is going down because of the water pressure, it will close. It will not allow to move the water, to pass the water towards the reverse direction. Okay, it will close. But at the same time, the displacement pump, this wall will get open and it will allow to move the water in an upward direction. It will allow to move the water in an upward direction. Okay, and when so this is the action happening. I hope you are understanding what kind of action is being performed. Okay, so this is the single acting pump, and another way there is a double acting pump. In the double acting pump, what happens? So when there is the movements of the piston in a forward direction and backward direction, there are two-way collection and two-way displacement is provided. So here you can see the pump. A second, let me take the anode so I will be able to explain you properly. Okay, so here you can see S1 provided, here S2 provided. S1 is provided here and S2 is provided here. So what these two walls are allowing to enter the water in upward direction from this source. Okay, these two walls are allowing to enter the water in an upward direction. Okay, pump and these D1 and D2, these two pumps are allowing to move forward the water in a forward direction. This is the collection system. This is the displacement system. Okay, or you can say distribution system. So in a collection system, S1 and S2, how they work? So again, here is the pulley and then piston is provided. When piston is moving in this direction, when piston is moving in this direction, at that time what happens? At that time what happens? It is this way. At the same time, means it is going back and it is allowing to enter the water this way. And at that time, what happens? It is collecting water in this chamber. It is collecting water in, when it is moving back at that time, or this wall down, and it is what direction? Through this direction. At that time, जो जेव्हा तो हा इकडे जातो त्यावेळेस इथल्या पोर्शन मध्ये जे पाणी आहे, या पोर्शन मधलं पाणी आहे, ते या पोर्शन मधलं पाणी काय केलं जातं? फॉरवर्ड डिरेक्शन, हे पुढे पाठवलं जातं. जेव्हा तो इकडे जातोय त्यावेळेस काय होतं की हा पोर्शन पाण्याने भरायला सुरुवात होतो आणि इथलं जे पाणी आहे ते या फॉरवर्ड डिरेक्शननी मूव्ह व्हायला सुरुवात होते. सो टू वे ऍक्शन्स आर बीइंग युज्ड फॉर बोथ दी पर्पजेस. जेव्हा तो इकडे, सो मल्टिपल वॉल्व्स आर बीइंग युज्ड टू ट्रान्सपोर्ट दी, to increase the efficiency of pump, to increase the efficiency of pump. So this is called the reciprocating pump. In a reciprocating pump, there are two way possible. One is the single acting and another is the double acting. So this is about the reciprocating pump. I request everybody to draw this figure. Reciprocating pump, please draw this figure.